It's Bob and Tom Tonight, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and your host, Tom Griswold.
Okay, we got Christy Lee at the Navy Federal Credit Union News Desk. There's Josh. I'm Tom. There's Willie. Ace Cosby is preparing the Ace Cosby Joke of the Day, brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. And his name is on his shirt. It's Pat Godwin, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the next building, being projected into here on the big screen. So it's all nice and cozy and separated by whatever.
One wall.
Yeah, there we go. And a lot of glass.
And if you're playing camera angle bingo with Pat, today's angle is up and to his left slightly.
You get the guitar in the corner. Looks like your senior photo.
It kind of does, yeah. You get a rock in there, put your foot up on it, you're in business. That's
very nice. That's very nice. Now, a couple things to get to in the world of sports, Mr. McGee.
As we said, Anthony Davis, a game-clinching three-pointer. He starts beating his chest. He's the man, he says. 39 and a half seconds left in the game. The Lakers 102, the Heat 96, and L.A. takes a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. But are they really finals in the bubble? I'll leave that to others to argue.
What?
LeBron had... Well, there's no crowd. There's no the way they got here is not a real season. I mean, this is going to go on forever on all the sports talk.
You've got to hand it to the NBA. They did it right. Bravo.
Without any fans.
Well,
28 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists.
Trying to cut back on the millions of deaths that would cause.
Ooh, L.A. bounce. They're using basketball-related verbs here. I like that. Back from Sunday's 115-104 loss to Miami. And as we said, Rajon Rondo last night, he had a interesting game. 7 rebounds. 5 assists, just 2 points, though.
That's a triple single, Chick.
That is a triple single. That's exactly right.
Much sought after.
Triple single.
He's okay, though. On the way back to the compound, he wrecked his car.
Oh no. Really?
Yeah, the Lambo's now all Bondo for Rondo.
Oh, boy.
Man, oh, man.
We should try to do the same thing with Rajon. I don't know if we're going to have any luck.
Rajon was eating some Cajun food.
Yeah,
there you go.
There's the one. That may be it.
You could do slant rhyme, went to a day spa. Doesn't work.
No, yeah, you could do the near rhymes, but yeah, I don't think you're going to get much. We have a letter.
Oh, good.
This involves... a story you had, Christy, yesterday about the great movie Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
Do you have the story?
Yeah, Buffalo Bill's home from that movie back in 1991 has been put up for sale. The 3-story house located in Perryopolis, Pennsylvania. Much of the home's exterior, as well as some of the rooms featured in the film, remain largely unchanged. It's on about 2 acres of property, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I think it's listed for $298,500.
I mean, some of the movie was... typically in movies, they only use the exteriors of houses, but they filmed part of it inside that house.
Yeah, it's a cool house. It's really cool.
Of course, we're all wondering if there really is a pit there. I'm assuming that there isn't.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, it's not listed.
No, that wasn't in the listing. Of course, being the real estate geek, I went through the whole thing. You probably need
an extra sump pump, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
You'd want one, for sure.
If you're buying a house, you fall in love with it, you find out there's a pit. You buy it anyway? You fill in the pit?
I don't know.
Come with me on this scenario.
Man, oh, man.
I don't think I would.
I know a guy that bought a house that had a underground bomb shelter.
Well, that's a plus, I think.
Yeah.
Tearing it out was a bear.
Why would you tear it out?
Yeah.
That's an optimist.
Why wouldn't you just leave it there?
Making a wine cellar.
Just add it to the list of family secrets. And
There was a lot of concrete, a lot of rebar.
If it's air conditioned, you can add that to the square footage.
Heck yeah.
And then you get taxed more.
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Some basements.
Yeah, very convenient. Here's a space we never use. It looks to me like it's furnished. Tax roll, cha-ching. You know, they tore it out, but
wow.
It was amazing. I mean, it was really vintage 50s. Had all the, canned goods from way back then. Fading picture of Dwight Eisenhower. Stick your ass under the desk.
Wow.
Doc can cover.
So why did I ask you to redo the story about...
why did you ask us to redo this?
We got a nice letter here.
There's only one reason, Tom. I'm Clarice Starling, Mr. Lecter. Can I help you?
When you came in, multiple MIGs next door, he hissed at you.
Yes.
What did he say?
He said he could smell my...
I, however, cannot.
Hey, Dr. Lecter, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have a dinner party tonight. I might get a Merlot. I might get a Pinot. What kind of wine do you think I should get?
I think you should go with a nice Chianti.
That's not how you pronounce it.
It's another show. Ask Dr. Lecter.
I love it. This might be. I don't know how old this would get and how fast, but that never mattered on this show before.
And Clarice could take the calls. Hello, is the caller there?
Is this what we got a letter about? They wanted to hear.
I'm sorry. Christy, returning.
Evidently, someone's a critic. This is $1 million bid we're doing.
I just would like to hear. I'd like to hear Dr. Lecter.
I've never heard her more defeated in my life.
I'd like to hear Dr. Lecter's comments about the movie Sideways and the discussion about Merlot.
I enjoy Chianti.
They can put you, Dr. Lecter.
I'm not drinking any Merlot.
Hey, don't you wish this were satellite radio for just a second?
We could drop him down into Sideways.
Is this the Clarice show?
Hello, Buffalo Bill. How are you?
A long-time listener, first-time caller.
We have a weight limit for callers.
I just have one question for you.
Yes, go ahead, caller.
Are you a great big fat person?
You guys know my Caboose Story, right?
What caboose?
Don't you? Wasn't there across the country restaurants called Victoria Station or something?
Yes, absolutely.
In a train,
And that actually is this story. The short version of the story is there was a bar called the Boxcar in Ithaca, New York, and it was essentially it was a bunch of train cars and built around it. Anyway, a couple guys from Cornell ended up creating. I think it was called Victoria Station. Cool restaurant in trains. I was part of a project where we took a bar that was built of train cars and a caboose. And they were placed around a sort of standard building, and it was a really cool, fun bar. But you would enter through the caboose. It was a stairway, and then it was a huge, really popular place there for a while. But
There was an incident?
There was an incident. This was kind of pre-Fridays.
All right.
But the Fridays idea of having all the stuff everywhere, the hanging plants, and there'd be a canoe, and there'd be whatever,
right?
A bridle, there'd be stuff from horse barns, just all this just junk all over the place and on the walls. And if you've ever been in a caboose, at least this one, when you'd walk in, there was a shelf on either side. It was kind of a narrow hallway, and there was a shelf at about chin level, and there was a toilet up there just with a potted plant in it,
hanging on the wall.
Sitting on this shelf. As you walked in, it was a narrow hallway in this caboose, and I don't know if all cabooses are like this, but this one was. And there was a toilet right there, like at chin level, but it was obviously not plumbed.
Right.
It was just sitting there, and then there's all kinds of junk in this place if you're getting a picture of this in your mind. And there was a potted plant inside the toilet. One especially crowded night, and again, you entered through the caboose. There'd be a line outside the bar, and people would kind of crowd in. They'd be let in two at a time and walk through the caboose into the big room. And during cleanup, it turned out that someone had defecated in that toilet. They'd gone to the trouble to remove the potted plant. And
now
did they put the plant back?
No.
Oh.
That's a busy night.
Yeah, but I always wondered, wow. How did they do that? Because the doorman would have been right there, taking the tick. Who knows? But what a bold move! Not even that drunk yet, probably.
Maybe it was your doorman. Maybe it was sending you a
Who
message.
Knows? That was rough. But cabooses are cool. You don't see them anymore, though.
No, we don't.
And I don't know what's the reason behind that. Do they have some kind of?
It doesn't explain the caboose. It's just there's a little like a shed in the back with the caboose next to it, and there's an outdoor pool. It's a very nice piece
You always
of
see
property.
little houses. Sometimes they'll have a Ferris wheel for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, coming up, we have a news story about a guy that has created a little mini Disneyland in his backyard
How about
for
that?
his grandkids. probably the world's greatest grandfather ever.
Sure, the rides suck.
No,
yeah, how good
actually
could
they
the ride
don't.
You.
Well, but have you ever been to Disney World, man? It's about the same ride.
What? Some of the greatest rides ever.
You just stand in line and then you're
Really, people
unless
who
you pay $1 million,
honestly,
then you
people who
go
don't
right
like
to the
Disney
front.
World really should be put on boats. And
They
sent to a
really
different-
should.
Sent to a different country.
Not
I'm
exposed
sorry.
to the rest of us.
You don't like Disney World, something's wrong with you.
Yes.
No, I met people who love it too much and will always wear Mickey Mouse shirts. And
Whatever. Hey, let them have their joy. People don't complain about your love of the Washington Football Club.
I don't ever hardly mention it on here unless you talk about it and
Didn't he mention it 10 minutes ago?
because they might get fined for forfeiting games. And I was going down a fun little alley there, I thought. But of course, you in the mood you're in today, you've yelled at Christy and Josh and me already.
Gentlemen, please.
Dr. Lecter, I'm glad you're here. We need some help.
Did you get Clarice to cool it a little bit?
It's my time.
Oh, I haven't even read this Windbag, but I just saw the first 4 words, and 5 words. I heard you 2 idiots. I'm in. I am in.
That's not a vice president. That's a president.
I heard you 2 idiots.
Wait a second. Now, there are at least 4 idiots in here. Which 2?
It does not.
It does not
It doesn't
specify.
specify?
It doesn't. But I do believe we may have corrected this at one point. It says, I heard you 2 idiots talking about Scooby-Doo saying Ruh-roh a couple of weeks ago. I just wanted to point out, Scooby-Doo has never said Ruh-roh in the history. It was the Jetsons' dog Astro, which we actually did discuss.
We kind of did cover that story.
Right.
But he knows he's gone back to all the Scooby-Doos and checked to see if he said Ruh-roh.
According to him, has never said Ruh-roh ever in the history of the show.
So, this idiot noticed that, pal.
I
okay?
will say this. I appreciate the correction. He's now the new vice president of the Junior Windbag Society.
Yes.
But I do think there's a problem with some of these cartoon dogs in that a little bit of plagiarism, I think.
Sure.
Do you think that would there be a Scooby-Doo without
Yeah, the
Astro?
original, the OG.
Without Astro? And would there be a Scooby-Doo without Marmaduke?
Marmaduke is the OG right there.
Marmaduke. Did Marmaduke speak in the comic strip?
I don't think so.
No,
about
he just looked
Clifford?
goofy.
Yeah, just a big old.
Clifford, the big red dog.
Yeah.
That dog was way too big.
It
When
was
did the-
way too big.
Yeah.
Who was the drug dog? The one that like
McGruff.
McGruff, yeah.
Take a bite out of crime.
Yeah.
All crimes.
That
Yeah.
took off.
But I think that the Ruh-roh thing, I think, wasn't that didn't Astro have more or less the same voice as Scooby?
Very
Do
similar.
you guys remember what
Very similar.
Astro's not his real original name? They adopted him in one of the episodes. Do you remember what his name was from the adoption?
Oh my gosh!
No.
I do not.
Actually, I think he was at a kill shelter. So
Oh my God.
Wait a second. I'm sorry.
What are you doing over there?
Well, at least they adopted him.
Yeah.
he made it.
Now, Josh is going fishing. Speaking of sports,
You got something over there?
yeah, I do. Josh going fishing. You're going to the Lake of the Ozarks.
That's right.
We got into a short discussion yesterday about what is called noodling.
Oh yes.
Because we had a news story about what do they call it? Illegal hand fishing, I
Yeah.
think is the phrase that they used.
That's the technical charge. Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with this, there's a lot of video of it out there, and it's pretty scary. You shove your arm into like a log or underwater or a hole in the...
Yeah.
And I saw one yesterday where you see a guy holding his buddy's feet, and his buddy is obviously underwater.
Yeah.
And this guy's really strong, and he's really struggling to hold his friend.
Yeah, but the video starts, you think the guy up out of water is noodling.
Exactly.
But he's holding the guy who's noodling.
It's a 30-second clip. It's like a 3-act play. There's so much that happens.
And
with it.
then the guy comes out with this fish in his arm that looks like a monster.
Yeah. It's quite a thing.
You got to be able to hold your breath a long time.
Yeah.
Well, as we found out yesterday, one of the things that can happen is drowning.
Sure.
I could see that.
But we have this letter here from Chuck. There have been several instances where an Oklahoman was noodling where it is legal, and they stuck their hand in a catfish hole and lost either a chunk of their hand or other extremity. One guy stuck his hand in a catfish nest and lost part of a finger to a snapping turtle.
Oh boy.
I can now hear Josh asking, was it the whole finger? The answer, no, it was the one next to it.
Excellent.
Thank you, Chuck. I like it when you provide both the setup and the punchline.
That's great.
That's the way to go.
Whoever thought this was a good idea?
Now, also, we were talking about trains and the fact that the caboose is going away.
Right.
Got a nice article here. So long, little red caboose.
Nice article here.
What's happening?
They don't need the caboose anymore. It's no longer the office for the train. A lot of this is done electronically, and they have sensors that can detect if something is wrong. So you don't need someone at the back of a train.
Did you say the caboose is the office of the train?
I didn't know that.
The
I
caboose,
thought it was the bar.
The bar car.
yeah, that's what it says here. That the caboose was used as the office for the train for filing papers.
I can honestly remember someone, like an engineer on a caboose, waving as they would go by when you were waiting at the train stops.
Sure.
Do you remember that?
I love that.
I did too as a kid.
This summer,
the guy would be out there and he'd wave at you when you were
This summer,
waiting.
we'd go have coffee and stuff at this place called the Whistle Stop in Michigan. And every time the trains would come by, the girls and I would run out. And
What kind of a solitary existence
oh, it was
you
the best.
live?
And you make
that
this
you wait
sign,
for-
and every single time the train engineer would blow the whistle. That's how cool
Well,
those
that's
guys are.
because it was the whistle stop. I bet he did it no matter whether you did that or not.
That's false and wrong.
Right?
Just a coincidence.
The train didn't stop. Therefore, it's not going to automatically whistle or stop.
No, I think trains.
I think they have to.
They have to
Have
whistle
to.
when they go through it.
No, that was not an intersection. It was going by
I don't
parallel
think it
to
had
the
anything
road.
to do with you.
No, you should have seen my dad. He thought it was just for him. He was trying to tip the guy, just running, trying to chase the train. Couldn't catch
You
up.
were there, Willie. You
No,
saw the
I
trains.
wasn't there. I was doing a joke.
The
you were there.
delusions of grandeur.
You met us in
Did
the
you,
parking lot of the Whistle Stop.
You see that train I made blow?
Okay, fine.
I can do that anytime.
That's my train guy.
Yeah, I got a train guy.
No, it's just
gate
cool.
guy.
I want to thank the great men and women who operate the trains
course.
for doing something nice for
Hey,
little
Josh,
kids.
how hard could that be? Running the train, just get in it and go, right? You can't.
God, I hope a train hits your car and it destroys it.
Seriously.
Half the job is just being there.
Yeah, I mean, and
Just
why
showing up.
computers? Hello.
I have been windbagged.
Oh,
All
please
right.
tell me it started with the new.
I mentioned
official-
cabooses. It says, Tom, the plural of cabooses is caboose. You're welcome.
Well, naturally, it would be, yeah.
Coming up, we have Josh. Very excited about this story coming up.
I think we've been windbagged about the Justice League guy. Have you on Twitter?
yeah?
Is it the Martian Manhunter, John Jones?
Yeah, I got a 10-minute dissertation from Ace about that during the commercial.
Okay. I wasn't aware. I'm sorry.
Could you get that, please?
Hello, Bob and Tom's show.
Hey, Bob and Tom, it's Donnie Baker.
Oh, hi, Don.
Donnie, it's always a pleasure. How are you, sir? I enjoyed your
I'm
thing
doing
yesterday.
good. Hey, you guys, you guys are always reading them letters where people are, like, corrected you about factoids and stuff.
Oh, you mean the Windbag Letters, Donnie?
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, because now people are starting to send me letters.
Oh, boy.
I call them douchebag letters.
Oh, do you?
That's a good name.
Well, Christy, they're trying to wrong all my rights, you know? I got this first letter here from Dale. Dale says, Dear Donnie, you're always talking about how you can't sell your boat. You could always donate your boat to Boat Angels.
That's
for a
right.
good cause. Well, first of all, Dale, I know more about donating than anybody I know of.
Really?
The fact remains, one year I donated my sack lunch every day to a charity called Lots of Lunch, helping, I guess, the homeless who are hungry get Nutri-Vised with good
Well, that's
lunch.
very nice, Donnie. Have you ever
Nutri-Vised?
considered Locks of Love? It's a great charity where you donate your hair for wigs for those that are having certain
There's
conditions.
no way in hell they're getting none of my hair, Tom.
Why not?
Ain't you seen the first 48? Next thing you know, somebody will plant one of my bangs at a crime scene. I'll be in the back of a Bronco with Al Cowlings.
Oh, yeah.
For God. Letter number 2. This one comes from Trina. Trina writes, Dear Donnie, I notice you have trouble pronouncing the word cinnamon.
Cinnamon?
Just break the word down into syllables. Wait, this ain't Trina. This sounds like my 7th grade English teacher, Miss Jenkins.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, maybe if you'd spend less time worrying about my verbs and more time working on your Jenkins, maybe your husband wouldn't have left you for the art teacher, Mr. Rorman. Swear to God.
Oh, well.
Whoa.
Said it right to her face. When I got so many letters here, you know what? If you got a problem with how I'm living my life, don't write me some letter like it's Shawshank in the 1950s. come over to my damn house and say it to my face. I dare you.
Wow.
You know, come over and see how far I can drop kick your ass off my front porch. The current record's held by my neighbor to the north, Mitchell. He basically got his ass drop kicked all the way back to his own home.
Uh-huh.
So people need to stop worrying about my business and start worrying about their own. And I'm talking to you too, Mark Craigson from Turtle Lake, North Dakota. Mud daubers are too, in fact, dangerous. Just ask my Aunt Putty. She had an entire nest of them fly up in her moo-moo last summer.
Oh.
Oh, Christy stung her real bad.
I bet.
Right between the first and second hole, and she wasn't even golfing. Anyways, it's homeschool time. I'm going to go pour Whiffy a big bowl of cinnamon
Toast Crunch?
You know the mineral. Well, Christy, I'm just going to call it rust-colored Toast Crunch.
Okay.
I got to go.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
That is a tough one.
Cinnamon Carter.
Cinnamon.
The great Barbara Bain on Mission Impossible.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may know him for his mellifluous pipes, as they say, here in the business.
His long, drawn-out explanations.
His confidence.
His unreasonable confidence.
He is poised and a grace under pressure, perhaps.
Inexplicably happy. Here we go.
Yes, of course, I'm talking about Ace Cosby, who will present the OmahaSteaks.com Ace Cosby Joke of the Day. Remember, some jokes are well done. Bad jokes are rare. But Omaha Steaks, that's no joke. Ladies and gentlemen, with the Ace Cosby Joke of the Day, these are really commentaries on contemporary culture. It's Ace Cosby.
Now, speaking of chefs, Josh.
Yeah.
Chick loves a good egg salad. He loves that. Christy hates mayonnaise.
Yep.
You know what the difference is between an egg salad and chicken salad? Time.
He's not wrong. He is not wrong there.
Watch the entire show live or on demand at Bob and Tom.